Stick around and we'll talk about the importance of knowing all the notes on the fretboard, and I will give you a foolproof exercise to learn it quick. Alright guys, thank you for joining me here at Overdrive Guitar Channel. Now, that guitar solo might have been a little unusual compared to what we kind of usually see on these channels. That's because I purposely kind of took the chord tone approach because of what we're talking about today. Okay, so first things first, let me just say welcome to Overdrive Guitar Channel if you're new. And if you are new, feel free to hit like and subscribe. More about that later. Alright, the first thing that we're going to talk about is what is this lesson all about? Ooh, I just hit the mic, I think. Sorry about that. So this lesson is a continuation of Skills That Pay the Bills, little series that I kind of did that focuses on kind of the fundamentals, because the fundamentals often become kind of the aspects that stand out in kind of the professional players, right? The string bends, making sure your bends are right on pitch, making sure you're right on time all the time when you're playing, especially soloing. It's those most basic things that when we get them down make us sound most professional. Anyways, this is part of that series, but we're going to be focusing on knowing all the notes on the fretboard. And obviously, like I said before, The whole kind of point of this video is to share an exercise with you guys. It's the fastest way that I know how to learn a super quick exercise. It kind of tries to stay away from patterns so that you're focusing on the actual notes, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. So knowing all the notes on the fretboard, right? It's kind of one of those things that everybody's telling you you should do constantly. You keep putting it off at the beginning of your guitar journey. Maybe somebody told you it's a good idea to at least know the first two strings, the thickest two strings, because that's where you start out kind of basing your chords from. It's not a bad idea, but why not know all the notes? And here's a little kind of inside info, right? If you already went through the work to do those two strings, you're halfway done, right? Because the high E is the same as the low E. So we want to look for an exercise like this one that gives us the most reward for the least amount of work, right? Not that we're being lazy, but why would we want to waste our time, right? I've said time and time again on this channel that a lot of the focus of kind of my videos, if you boil it down, it would really be about making sure people don't fall into those kind of time-wasting traps, just kind of repeating the same mistakes or getting the wrong information, things like that. Another great thing about this particular exercise is you don't have to put a lot of time into it. Not only do you not have to put a lot of time into it per day or however often you can pick up the guitar, but it's pretty much a fast track to learning all the notes on the fretboard. There are no real shortcuts, but I'd say this is about as close to a shortcut as you can get. Like I said, I'm all about making sure that we're learning the right stuff and we're not wasting our time. So this lesson, definitely aimed towards the more beginners, can sometimes be useful for people that have been around a while. You'd be surprised. I know some guys who have been playing a long time and still don't know the notes of the fretboard. Now, it's kind of like almost handicapping yourself, right? There's all this information out there, right, that you can pick and choose from to help you on your guitar journey, but some are just gold, right? And this is one of those kind of pieces of gold, which is why I want to share it with you guys. But you're probably sitting there thinking, because you're probably in the beginning stages of guitar, you're probably thinking, why is this so important? Why do I want to know the notes on the fretboard? And you might know the kind of first and most basic reason. You might not. So the first reason, anyways, is to know kind of where you're starting your chords from, right? When we start playing guitar, typically we're doing very much chord-based kind of figures, playing rhythms most of the time, right? And most of the time we're basing our chords on the 5th or 6th string. But as we get further in our guitar journey, we'll find out that we might be looking for the root on any string, or we might be looking for a different interval of the chord, and it might be on any string. So that's kind of one aspect, to be able to find chords. Another one is to be able to find chord tones for inspiration, right? Another one is to be able to build chords. Right? These are some of the reasons they're starting to pile up, and this is just how it pertains to chords, right? Never mind all these other aspects. There are tons of benefits to knowing all the notes on the fretboard. Just trust me and do the exercise. So before we jump into the meat of this exercise, a few things to kind of get out of the way. The first thing to get out of the way is we're going to be using the circle of fifths to help us with this exercise. Now, don't freak out if you don't know what the circle of fifths is, or you know what it is, but you're like, I don't want to memorize that. We don't have to. The only thing we're going to use the circle of fifths for is the order of notes that we're going to play in the exercise. So I'll show you what the circle of fifths looks like, right? So we're going to be starting with our exercise on each string. We're going to be starting at the note B. So if you see the note B around the circle of fifths and you start to follow it around, you get the sequence of notes that we're going to use in this exercise. Now, the circle of fifths will come in handy many times in your musical journey, so I recommend that you download a copy, print it out, whatever you have to do if you don't have a copy. If you can't do that, then maybe just write down the sequence of notes, right? B, E, A, D, G, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. Okay, that's kind of the sequence that we're going to follow on each string. We're just going around that circle clockwise. There's really no need to freak out. It just kind of sounds intimidating sometimes to beginners. The circle of fifths is a pretty simple and actually an awesome tool that you're going to be able to use in your musical journey. The next thing to get out of the way is I'm going to be showing you this exercise to get it under your fingers in kind of free time. Just like I always say, as with any exercise, anything you're trying to learn on guitar, any part you're playing, use a metronome. Use a metronome or a drum track or anything that keeps perfect time, right? Use something to keep you in time. This thing is all about time. If we're going to be putting in the time to do an exercise, that can help us not only with the notes, but things like timing and sensitivity, things that we'll always have to work on to stay sharp. Why not work on all three at the same time, right? So just use the metronome. Last thing to get out of the way before the exercise, please hit like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing at all. Hit that bell icon if you want to be notified when I put out another lesson or a gear review or I go live. Any support is greatly appreciated, and actually the best way to support me is to just hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, any of that stuff. Actually, I'm also trying to put together some song stuff, so feel free to leave a comment the last song you were playing before you watch this. Alright, without further ado, let's zoom in and see what this exercise is all about. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to show you this to get it under your fingers, but once you get it, please use a metronome, keep you in time, all that stuff. So we're going to start from the beginning. How's that? We'll start here on our thickest string, right? Our low E string. And we have our notes, right? From the circle of fifths, the order that we're going to go around in. And now for all the build up, this might be a little anticlimactic. This is a very simple, easy exercise. It's going to be super quick to show you guys. Okay, we're going to start on the lowest string. Start at B, like I said. So we have B, E, A, D, G, C, F, then to B flat, right? Following that, the circle of fifths, right? B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. Okay, that's it for that string. Okay, so next string, we're going to start at B again, right? And we're just going to go in order. B, E, A, D, etc. Okay, and I think you guys are probably already starting to get the picture, right? And we'll leave it at that because I think you guys get the point. We're simply working through each string and going around that circle of fifths. Okay, like I said, I'm going through this very slow, just showing you guys, and I'm gonna stop there. The reason being, if I show you guys the patterns, right, the order, inevitably there's people out there who, instead of looking at the neck of their guitar and going through the notes, inevitably there are going to be people who just watch the video and memorize the pattern, thinking they're taking a shortcut when actually they're just making it so they don't really get anything out of the exercise. Okay? So, one more time, and like I said, again, you guys are going to be doing this to a metronome. Okay? One more time, I'll do it on the thickest string. Okay? B, E, A, D, G, C, F, to B flat, right? Now we're just going right around. It's all the same order, just flat. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, right? Simple enough, okay? A lot of build up for a little bit of exercise, right? So let's just do a quick review, right? Again, use the metronome. Secondly, don't be afraid to mix this up, okay? If you kind of do start to develop a memory of the patterns and you start kind of playing the pattern before you memorize all the notes, which usually doesn't happen. Typically, you memorize the notes really quickly with this method. But if you're kind of missing the memorization of the notes, you can try just simply going the other way, right? If you go the other way around the circle of fifths, you get the circle of fourths, right? It's literally the same thing, but if you go in the other direction, you're going in intervals of 4 instead of 5. You can shake it up in that way or any other way. You can doctor this exercise, right? Or any exercise if it's not working for you. Like, who's to say that this is the way to do an exercise? I'm just some guy on the internet. And the last thing I want to review with you guys is, like I said, this exercise works pretty quickly and effectively. So this isn't the kind of exercise where you kind of have to sit there and kind of grind at it for half an hour a day until you get it. In fact, I recommend not doing that. If anything, give it 5 minutes, right? Every time you practice, or every day when you practice, if you get to practice every day, first thing you do, run through all the notes, do it to a metronome, like I said, right? Okay, if you do this kind of as part of your everyday routine, you will memorize these notes in no time. I guarantee it. This is the quickest, most effective exercise to learn it. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys, because guitar is my passion and I want to share it, right? So, let me know what I did right, what I did wrong in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, I guess you'd call it, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit that bell. There should be the list of gear, as always, down below. But new to that list should be some affiliate links if you want to purchase any of this gear or anything from any of the retailers. If you just go to the retailer through my link, I get a small percentage, helps me keep the channel going. And other than that, I'll see you soon, guys, probably with a live stream, so look forward to that. Keep rocking.